So today we're going to get a little bit vulnerable and I'm going to tell you about my biggest financial regret in my life. It's not going to be what you think. It's not taking out debt. It's not school loans. It's not anything. Oh, I have dreaded making this video for a long time because it makes me look really bad. Hey guys, it's Wendy Valencia. My husband Mauricio, my daughter Melina, who's 7, and I are on our debt-free journey to pay off more than $300,000. And it's a journey that's confusing and long and has twists and turns and ups and downs and good days and very bad days, but we are committed to living a debt-free lifestyle and never taking out debt again except for a mortgage if we can. I wanted to talk to you today about my biggest financial regret. As I said in the intro, this makes me look awful, and I have dreaded talking about it, but it's time I come clean. I don't know that come clean is actually the right term because, I didn't really do anything wrong, but it says a lot about who I used to be as a person. Today I'm going to talk about my wedding. And I know a bunch of y'all just like went, she regrets her wedding. I don't regret getting married. I don't regret marrying Mauricio. I don't regret that at all, but I do significantly regret my wedding because I did not care about the amount of money my parents had to pay to give me the wedding I wanted. It was disgusting and selfish. And while it was wonderful and lovely, my parents paid a redonkulous amount of money. So let me set the scene for you. I was in Colombia working at the embassy down there as a diplomat, and Mauricio was working down in Colombia as a Colombian, because as you all know, Mauricio and I met in Colombia. And we sort of got engaged, which I gotta tell y'all that story someday because that is a hilarious story. Mauricio and I are not romantic people, and there was nothing romantic about this engagement. It was actually really pretty funny. But anyway, another story for another day. So, I don't want to tell you this. So, anyway, my whole life I had dreamed I wanted to get married on a cliff overlooking the ocean in Carmel. And I wanted to die and have my ashes scattered off the cliff that I got married on. I don't know why, but I just love that part of California. It's like home to me. It's just beautiful. It's truly one of my favorite places on the planet. And so that was always my dream, and that's what I wanted. So we had started planning that wedding to get married on a cliff overlooking the ocean in Carmel. And my brother told me that his wife was pregnant and she was going to be due right about the time that we were planning the wedding, so they would not be able to come. And if you know anything about me, I am a huge family person. I decided that I would change my plans and we would get married in the summertime. I don't really remember why I decided against Carmel, but I did. And so we decided to get married in Hawaii on a cliff overlooking the ocean, oddly enough. I have a thing for cliffs overlooking the ocean. My dream is to own a house on a cliff overlooking the ocean, which I should tell you about the property I almost bought in Nicaragua on a cliff overlooking the ocean, which was amazing, but ended up bailing on that. Someday I'll tell you that story too. Oh, lots of stories I haven't told y'all. I switched to Hawaii, and so my parents got on board with it. So my parents paid for a lot of people to go to Hawaii. It was beautiful. We stayed at the Westin Hotel. We had a bunch of suites. It was really amazing. But it was so expensive. And our wedding was beautiful. The wedding itself wasn't what cost a lot. The wedding actually was, only like $3,000 or $4,000. The only thing that was important to me was the photographer, which I think Mauricio and I paid for. So it really was a lovely ceremony, but the ceremony itself was cheap. I mean, it wasn't very expensive. I didn't have I had a small bouquet of flowers, and the only other flowers I had were leis. Everybody wore leis that we bought at the grocery store. The reception was at a restaurant, and my cake, I think, was from Costco. I didn't really care about the wedding. It was more about spending a week with family to me because that's what was important. And it was magical and wonderful, but it was such a tremendous financial burden on my parents. And they did not really restrict me at all. They basically let me choose whatever I wanted. And when I told them I was, the only time they really said no was when I said, well, the Ritz Carlton has a really nice beach. And they're like, no, we are not Ritz Carlton people. Mauricio and I have been married 11 years this summer. And to this day, I still regret what I did to my parents because it was selfish. It was childish. I was a brat. I wish I could take it back, but I didn't. And I didn't even care about the financial impact to anyone else. I I was so oblivious about money and finances at that point in my life because I never really struggled too much because it was just me and I had a good job and a decent salary, and for a good chunk of it I was living overseas. I mean, I struggled financially in the beginning when I before I moved to Nicaragua, but after Nicaragua, I kind of forgot about how much I had struggled before and money and everything like that. Just went on living my life without a budget and whatever. So if I could take it back, I would. I really would. I would never do that to my parents again. I wish I could take it back, but I can't. Anyway, I know, Debbie Downer for the day, but it is what it is. And, I hope that I raise Melina to be responsible with money. That's one of my missions as a mother, is to make sure that Melina understands, like truly understands about budgeting and living below your means when she gets older. So, I'll see you in the next one. See ya. We're out.